Hello, hello, hello. It's another episode of Lessons with Larry. Tonight we have Mr. Calvin Clemens here and George F. Grundy the second, and this is the 15th episode of Lessons with Larry. And the subject tonight is, what can we do to change yesterday? And if not nothing, then why do we hold on to the past for so long? And we're just gonna share our portion of understanding on that subject, and try to get some insight, and try to really get an understanding and shed some light on that, because far too often we live in the past, and living in the past can also make us overlook the moment. You know, so I'm gonna start with Mr. Calvin Clemens. Um, if you can start us out with
Okay,
sharing your portion of understanding on this subject.
right. Living in the past and missing the moment. Uh, some things we go through life and we hold on to some of the things that are hurtful in your past, and you miss the future, the presence by holding on to the negativity. You're going forward, but you study living your life from the rear view mirror, and it's hard to get to the destination when you're moving. You're driving forward, but you're thinking backwards. So
Mm.
we
Mm.
want to speak to the listeners and let them know that when you run up on a situation like this, you have to stay motivated at all time and leave the past actually where it's at, is what's behind you, and take what you can out of the past to add what you got for the future and move forward.
Okay, is dwelling on the past, do you think that can be uh, healthy?
Well, yes and no. Mostly no.
Okay,
I
why
was
why do you say yes first?
well because forgetting where you come from, it kind of stagnates where you're going. You know what I'm saying? You want to respect the past, to move forward. And if it's things that you that's hurtful and that don't mean so, that's not so beneficial to you, you want to kind of step forward and leave the past where it's at.
Okay,
It prevents you from elevating, going to the next level in life.
okay. So what you had to say about that, Mr. George?
Well, I always have some kind of weird, different viewpoint on stuff. But going back to what it is, it says, what can you do to change yesterday?
Mm.
Nothing.
You sure?
No, I can't change yesterday.
Okay,
Yesterday's yesterday. I can't do nothing about it. It's happened.
it's gone forever, huh?
I can't do nothing about it.
Okay.
I just wasted time or did the best of my time, one or the other. Um, if nothing, why do we hold on to the past for so long? Because we're reflecting at the things that we did right and wrong, the highlights, the lows, the memories, because that's the only thing you got from yesterday or from your past is those memories. So we hold on to the memories that was either good or the things that, like, this is why I don't, or this is why I do. So when you have those yesterdays, they teach you what the people in front of you in the future may or may not do. So because I'm like this. I don't believe people grow. I don't believe people change. I believe they grow, like trees. Like a tree, somebody could try to chop a tree 100 years ago, but if the tree's not chopped up, it grows and it covers that wound, and then it becomes the greatness that it's supposed to be. But sometimes people get chopped down, or they don't get the nourishment they need, and they are, because you still that tree. It's just about how your environment cultivates you, or what you do in order to cultivate yourself for your environment. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a beautiful opinion. You know, I think that a lot of us live our life based on the past. And living that way can be detrimental to the moment that you actually living in. You know, because it's kind of like, what did you say? Because you said, I mean, Cal, you said it's like driving in your rear view.
Yeah, you living your life. You're moving forward, driving forward in life, but you living your life out in your rearview mirror. Things that is behind you that obviously can't benefit you moving forward.
Yeah, it can actually crash.
You're gonna definitely crash
moving forward.
So
because life is ever progressing.
Yes.
And it's moving forward even when you don't want to move forward. Life is continually moving forward. So to hold on something from the past that's not conducive to the future can also make you meet your detriment.
And I agree. And it can stunt your growth.
Facts.
And that's what we're not trying to do. And we must remind ourselves the things that the mindset is like a computer, things that we put in it and we store and we hold on to it. So you be careful of the information that you store inside your mind and your heart. You're moving forward in life and staying positive, because there's some hurtful things that happen. If somebody did something to you that, you'd be like such and such. It was an embarrassing moment, and you just can't let go, or somebody, a family member, said something to you and it hurt you, it pierced your emotions, and you just won't let it go. So every time you see this individual, you relive the past. And what can we do to move forward in life? To you get your listeners out there, we all people and we deal with each other every day, and we say hurtful things. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes even a text message, it's easier not to send it, because once you say it or send it, you can't get it back.
Can't take it back.
And people, that information, that last text or that last statement you made to that individual, to that loved one, friend, or whoever it may be, it sticks. It hurts, it sticks. But you have to live and learn, how to maneuver around pain. You can, and that's what we got to do, medicate ourselves mentally by things that we control, the things that we contain in our memory that we want to restore, keeping our heart, let it go. You have to let it go so you can move forward, because definitely something bad yesterday can stunt your growth for tomorrow.
Most definitely. I'm with you on that. My dad, he preached yesterday. And he was speaking something to that effect, or he was giving an example of how some people just got to let them pass by. Some things you guys just have to, regardless of what you believe or think, you just ignore those things, let them pass by, let them go, because you don't know what that response is going to be. You can control your response. I struggle with that all the time, because I have triggers. There's some stuff that trigger me. I ain't eating no watermelon from the white person. I'm not it's just certain things I don't do that just seem weird to other people. But because I understand, in my personal opinion, what history is and what my experience in the military, and knowing that you have to be on watch 24/7 day in order to maintain a certain status of the empire that we have. Period. It's impossible to not have a watch. So I think my mind is like, I don't care. I don't have. It's just different things that I go into, and I may not speak, but I'm always watchful or mindful of those things, because I know the reality of them. It's just I can be as happy and hopeful as I want to, but if I don't keep my head on a swivel mentally, it's gonna get cut off. And if there isn't a certain level of understanding that I bite just as hard as whatever those issues is, I'm gonna be put in a space to where I'm a puppy in the corner. Mm-hmm. And I'm a man of peace. I'm peaceful, but I have had things from yesterday create environments that I didn't want, and it was either I'm going to survive this, or I'm about to be a victim of it. So those realities for me are some stuff that I deal with, because certain things I could go to certain levels, but then it's like, then if I could do that, then why couldn't I do that? If I could stretch my situation or what I'm willing to do to that point, then why couldn't I stretch it all the way over to here? So yeah, but that's yesterday. I can't do nothing about that. So with all those decisions I made, what can I do today, and what are the options today? So anytime I get to that point, like, man, yesterday, like, what is right now? Right now looks horrible. How does it look horrible? Because it is. Well, how do you change that? Look at that phone. What does this phone represent? I don't know. I can call somebody. No, it's information. You can ask the phone, anything you want to ask it, it's going to give you something, some type of direction towards something. So all the stuff that you complaining about or you thinking about that you can't do or the world's falling on you, ask the phone, because the information is available to you to figure out how to make a path. And then I started asking the questions, not just to myself, but to the resource of figuring out how I get to that path or to get to those resources.
Right. Yeah. The thing of it is with me, about what can we do to change yesterday? In my opinion, there's absolutely nothing you can do to change yesterday, because yesterday is gone forever. Now, whatever you decide to hold on to from yesterday, you have to ask yourself, is this something that can help me with right now, or can it help me with tomorrow? Or can it hurt me right now and give me the same pain that I felt yesterday, or even worse pain? Or you know what I mean? Can it actually hurt me tomorrow? Because I'm gonna wake up with the same pain, but it's only because I'm holding on to something that I should let go of.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think that in human nature, we like to, everybody say, I don't want you to hurt me. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want this. I don't want that. But in reality, we hurt ourselves. You know what I mean? Realizing that ain't none of us perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't none of us perfect. You know what I mean? So we imperfect individuals, and some of us are striving for perfection and knowing that we'll never be perfect. But as long as we continue to at least strive to be perfect, then you'll be better off than you would be if you didn't.
Exactly. I agree with that.
So you can hold on to the past for so long to where it become cancerous, and it eats you internally. But you have to understand that that's a part that you playing in it, because you're making a conscious decision to hold on to something that is hurting
Right.
you, as opposed to saying, well, if I say I'm gonna let go, I gotta let go for my own good,
Mm.
as opposed to, just holding on and just carrying it with you. How can you expect to be the best you when you bring in something that's bringing you down, you carrying it everywhere you go?
Right. It's cancerous.
Yeah, it's cancerous, and that's something that we really all need to think about, in our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
How much of the past am I going to hold on to? And then if I'm going to hold on to it, because there's some things in the past you should hold on to, some experiences that you say, okay, never again. I'm just going to tuck it away back here. And if I see anything that resembles it, then I'm going to recall on that experience to say, hey, I remember that. So let me make sure that this don't happen today,
Exactly.
because it happened many days ago, or many months ago, or many years ago. You know what I mean? So I think that it's very important that we take the time to be conscious of what we carry around. You know what I mean? Be it from today or be it from yesterday. Just be conscious of what you're carrying with you at all times. Because wherever you go, there you are. You know what I mean? Baggage and all.
This is true.
You know?
And what you're saying, that I would say, be careful how you pack your lunch. The things that you store inside your mind, which is your heart. You want to be careful with the things you store inside. You want to store positive information that's going to continue to motivate you to make the path of your daily living positive. You know what I'm saying? Because looking, like I said earlier, things that that hurts and that doesn't work for you. If it's not working for me, how about it's not working? So I immediately push delete. Things that I don't. It could be an old text message. Or from a person that said something mean to me, you can always delete that. And that's what the mindset as well. The brain itself is like a computer. It stores information. It stores, and if you store negative things that are hurtful to you, you have to delete these things so you can be able to move forward. And every time you see this person, you got this certain vibe that you have to contain. You'd be like, if you let it go, whenever you see that, you're in a better place when you let this go.
It's kind of like seeing somebody that owed you some money.
Exactly. See?
Now, as long as you didn't see that individual, you know what I mean? You ain't tripping. Day. You beautiful. You know what I mean? And but the minute you see this individual, you know, the first thing come to your mind is, hold on, don't you owe me something? You know what I mean? You know, and you know, just so just when we hold on to things, you know, be it an old debt, be it something that someone said to you, you know, in the past. Today is a new day.
Yes.
You know, it's a brand new day and full of, you know, brand new opportunities. And so if you don't capitalize on the opportunities because you're so busy worried about yesterday, you know what I mean? You know, I think that it's we do ourselves a disservice when we overlook today and overlook this moment, thinking about yesterday and yesterday's moment. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You know. So Mr. Grundy, what you like to add to that?
I'm agreeing with what y'all saying. I have to work a lot on me being in today. You know, that's what I take I'm guilty of allowing my yesterday to get in the way more than it should. And that's why I always try to look in the mirror and somebody got your bike, man. What's going on?
You see how
I didn't think about it till like, oh, he wrote, but
it's insured.
Okay, hey, look, you about to get 2 new ones. So I have to work on yesterday a lot. But I try to be honest to myself and look in the mirror and understand that I'm growing every day. And people grow.
Growth is a process. It's definitely
a heck of a process for me.
Yeah, I mean, for all of us. I mean, you know, myself included. I'm sure we all can agree on that.
Yes.
You know, growth is a process, and it's also a choice. You know what I mean? Because you can stay stuck in your ways. You know, I know so many people stuck in their ways, and I try not to be that way. You know what I mean? I try to be as flexible as a blade of grass. You know, I used to ask. Well, I've been asked. A person asked me, which one do you think is stronger, a 100-year-old oak tree or a blade of grass? And I had to say the blade of grass because the 100-year-old oak tree is so stiff. If a tornado comes, it's gonna snap it in half. It's gonna snap it. It's gonna snap it straight down. Well, the blade of grass is so flexible. It's gonna lay right down, and once the tornado gone and the sun pop up, it's gonna stand straight back up. You know, in attendance. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So you know, we have to really think about those type of things and say, hey, do I want to be that old oak tree? Stuck in my ways, you know what I mean? Not trying to change, don't want to embrace change when everything on this universe around me is changing at a warp speed. Everything is changing. You know, you look at all us, you know, I don't look like I look when I was 19. I may show some resemblance, but I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because change is taking place with or without my permission.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, and so, you know, we have to really be conscious of that, you know, and I think that, a lot of us more often than not, we don't think about these type of things, and that's why I, come with certain subjects, because these are important subjects that sometimes you have them internally, but you need to speak on them, and I know there's somebody somewhere who's holding on to something that they know they should be letting go of because it's not helping them. It's not helping them physically. It's not helping them spiritually. It's not helping them emotionally. It's not helping them financially. It's not helping them in no way, no how in the areas that we all need to grow in. But we continue to hold on to it, like it's really doing us the best, giving us the best that we can receive, and that's serious, it's very serious. It's like it's to our detriment, and I have to, check myself often, but hold on, I'm not gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna make a conscious decision to let that go. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to carry that until tomorrow. Because if I carry it to tomorrow, it's gonna put me right back where I was yesterday. You know what I mean? And that's moving backwards. You define the laws of life.
Exactly.
To move backwards when you should be moving ahead. So would you What you say, cuz?
Yeah, my take on it is like Teddy Pendergraft. I think you better let it go.
It looks like what?
Another TKO.
Yeah, gonna knock you out.
It's gonna take you out the box. And self-preservation is out there, brothers and sisters. You got to stay woke and be mindful that it happened yesterday. Let it go. It's behind you.
Yeah, you know how many family members don't speak? Family members that it was real tight. It's not tight over something petty that somebody's holding on to and holding it against. It's kind of like, I'm gonna tell you like this: when you hold a grudge against somebody, it's kind of like you taking the poison and you waiting on them to die.
Exactly.
You taking the poison, but you waiting on them to die because they ain't thinking about it. They didn't let it go. You hold on to it, and then you sitting up here eating you alive, and they chilling. You know what I'm saying? They done moved on past it. It's just something that we really need to really consider and really need to think about. And be conscious of it. And so when you're conscious of it, you can actually make a difference in your own life. And that's what it's all about, making a difference in your life so you can become a better person and also present a better person to the world. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't change the world, but you can change yourself.
Exactly. It starts with yourself, the man in the mirror.
Facts. That's what Mike said.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that's the way I look at it. We have to the things that we can change, and always I say to everyone, that anybody that's out there listening, when you're going through something or you've had an encounter with somebody or something happened yesterday, even on the news, the world is so graphic and so much mean things going on in the world today. The television and all this stuff is so much stuff. We're subject to see things that that was today's news is not tomorrow's way of living. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We have to take that and leave that where it's at. We view this and we become emotional or detached from a person or emotional something. Even a bad movie, it happens. You just have to let these things go. If it's not working for you, for anybody, if something's not working for you, it's not making you happy or benefiting you in any shape or form, let it go. Just walk away from it and move forward, And that's just how in life, in anything you do, not what's done today, you hurt you tomorrow, and how can yesterday, and keep you from growing. You got to let it go.
Is it a such thing as good news?
Just news.
Is there such thing as good news?
It's relative to me because it can always change. So for me, when I act upon good news, like, oh, it's gonna be great, it seemed like it changed. It's like all of a sudden the carpet just get pulled. Like, this was a great day, everything's right. I had the money was in the bank, like it's $15 million in the bank. And so, yay! But what you mean I got a zero balance? What is it? It's just news. I'm not getting excited.
But the reason why I asked that is because it's kind of like in today's world. It's kind of like, if the news ain't bad, it's not news.
That's facts. Because people they draw with people cling to negativity.
Right. That's what I was finna go. That's the point I was finna get to. So that means that negativity rules the order of the day.
It's popular. I don't say it rules.
I mean, hold on. No, okay.
It's popular.
Okay, hold on. So if you turned on the news right now, 90% of the stories is gonna be negative.
Mm-hmm.
So the other 10%, 10%, 5% might be borderline negative, but might have a good silver lining. Then you may get, I ain't gonna say 5%, but if you're lucky, you get 5% of some good news. But by the time the good news comes, you done consumed so much of the negative stuff to where it don't even have the effect that the effect is not long lasting. The effect is short. You be like, and that's not what you're gonna remember. Your recall gonna give you all of the negative stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't listen to the system's program propaganda, because that's what it's there to do.
But so many of us do, and in light of that, we live our life off of that.
And that's why we create platforms like this.
Right.
So as we advance, when the 24-hour cycle, it can come from a different space, not just from a space where it's just feeding you all this mess.
Negativity.
So
right.
once we get to a point and we have our news space and we're talking about things in the in the community and abroad that are going on that is building the human construct
instead of tearing it down.
So for me, that's one of the bigger things of this, because when we have certain things and there's some messiness in there, people are, it's like a lollipop or candy, it's sugar. It's gonna get you there and whoo, that was tasty, but you don't have no nutrients.
Right.
So it's only gonna last so long. But a conversation like this, 5 years from now, somebody can go back and
like, still be
relevant. Man, I got some lessons out of that Larry.
Yeah.
Episode 15.
Thanks.
You know, instead of like, oh man, you remember when he slapped him? He ain't learned nothing from nobody slapping nobody.
Right.
It's just funny. It just gave you a moment of what was that stuff? The dopamine.
Yeah.
But something like this, once we gone, it's still gonna be here, and people behind us are gonna be, oh yeah, I get that. What is yesterday and what today and all growth and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter that somebody's trying to push this agenda of change everything about your body and change your sex and change this and be somebody else. You don't want to be dark skinned. You put some light skin powder on. All that stuff. That ain't gonna, stuff like this is what's gonna last.
Right.
In my humble opinion.
No, I mean, I truly believe it, because one thing about the truth, the truth don't need no support. And the truth it's gonna withstand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
The truth can stand to be tested. It's a lot of change. The truth, the truth is what it is. It's the truth.
It don't have to explain itself. Yeah, it is what it is. It's the truth.
Right. Yeah. It's often slow, but it do show up. Well, because a lie travel fast,
and people hate on the truth. They hate on it. It's just like you somewhere and you trying to succeed, and the truth is like, nah, don't let it up here. We don't want to hear that. That's man. You stay back there. We about to just do what we doing here, have fun, blah blah. But I got something to tell y'all so we can last another 20 years.
No, but that's people ain't thinking of they're not thinking ahead. Even if you're thinking ahead when it comes to hold on to something that's detrimental from the past, if you say, okay, well, this is not good, so I'm not taking this with me. It's kind of like, but then a lot of times we take stuff with us. We just pack it on, like, let's go. I'm taking this with me into the future,
And that's why when the question that was posed today is super loaded, because what's said is that you're bound to repeat what you've done if you don't know your past.
Right, facts.
So
if you forget the past.
If you forget it. So, but the question is said, what can you do about yesterday? You can't do nothing about slavery, but we can't forget slavery. We can't act like that didn't exist. That people hated folks that look like us so much that just because you accidentally walked on the wrong side or looked at somebody the wrong way, they would put a rope around your neck, cut your genitals off, stiff them down your throat just because you made a mistake. Or because
that wasn't a mistake. I mean, you mean walking down the street, you gonna tell me where I could use my eyeballs to look? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't said a word to you, but I totally get that. But here's the thing: if I feel like we don't focus no attention on our past in terms of saying, okay, never again, because even if I'm not Jewish and none of that, but if even if you're not of Jewish descent, you know about the Holocaust,
right?
And their main slogan is never again. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have no slogan for slavery, because it's kind of like the thing that swept under the rug, is to say like this. Okay, it wasn't us that done it. Mm-hmm. So really, and it didn't happen to you. You wasn't here during that time. So but we don't. You don't hear that argument on the other side. You know what I mean? But we see the effects of it. You know what I mean? We see the effects when it comes to the stuff we hold on to. We hold on to petty things. Not nothing that could really propel us, further ahead in life. We hold on to things that can only be there to witness our demise or destruction. Self-destruction. This is what we hold on to. The stuff that if you keep holding on to it long enough, eventually it's gonna work. for you to destroy you. You know what I mean?
And that again is why that subject is a loaded subject.
Yes. And I think it's very loaded because when you think of it at this aspect of history, things that's been happening in the past about yesterday, can let yesterday go. But yesterday, when you think about where we as a nationality of peoples of our history, where we came from, that was, it's behind you. So it's in the past. But at what it does today, you know what I'm saying? It's things that took place yesterday is what what gives you the energy to continue to fight, to be who you are, to get better than what you. Stay sharp, stay dressed, stay looking your part, play your part, stay ready. You ain't got to get ready,
Shit be free.
For life.
Right. Oh man.
And to add to that, if yesterday wasn't so important, why is history and anthropology so important? Why is it so important to go and find out what the pyramids had to do and what the Incans and Mayans and stuff had to? Why is that such a
so relevant?
Right. Why is it such an issue for me to go and find my heritage and my history, and whether I'm a Native American or an African? Why is that a problem? Why is it that the what I heard today, that the Mormon Church is the largest collector of Black history in the country? Why is it important for them? But they want us to not remember, or to just calm down with it, or just like it'll be all right. Like you did me right enough for me to trust you to do right by me.
But the thing is, kind of like it's a lot of people walking the face of this earth are aware of who we are and where we come from, more so than we are. You know what I mean? More so than we are.
Yeah.
Now if you're gonna deal with past, or you're gonna carry something in the past, go back and get some of your history and carry that with you. And maybe it'll make you behave in a different way and see yourself as royalty, or see yourself in a better light in the future, as opposed to you not knowing your I believe that we don't know our history so we can act a fool. Because if you really if you really was conscious of who you are and where you come from, you would not behave the way you behave.
This is true.
You would not tolerate disrespect the way you disrespect yourself, the way you don't have no problem with disrespecting somebody that you don't know. You would carry yourself totally different. The children would be different. You know what I mean? Because we would raise them different. We would make sure that we take the time to raise them. You know what I mean?
It's a loaded thing.
Because when you say that, you said we were talking about yesterday doesn't have an impact on today. It does.
Yeah,
it does.
I knew it was gonna.
That's why it's so loaded. It's so loaded.
Yeah. So
I knew we was gonna come to it.
So
you just had to come full circle.
Yeah,
it's so loaded
because yesterday it impacted us for our motivation of being business owners, being incorporated ourselves. We've been the undertaker. We've been the farmer. You know what I'm saying? We've been the
slave.
We've been the slave, and we find ourselves in slave positions at all time. We've
been the kings too before the slaves.
Yeah, but some of us forget where we come from.
But some of us don't know.
But that's why we're here.
Yeah,
we here with this information. It's informational here to you folks out there. We want you to stay woke.
Yeah,
wake up. Some folks.
Well, everybody know we the sleeping giant. We the sleeping giant.
So, okay, it is so important to the system to have us. What's the syndrome when you love your oppressor? It's from the Jewish community. Stockholm syndrome. Okay. Stockholm syndrome. Okay. So
for anybody that don't know about the Stockholm syndrome, please research. You got a computer right in your hand, your phone. Just look up Stockholm syndrome. Tell Siri or whoever you got on Android what is Stockholm syndrome.
Right. And so they want us to have the Stockholm syndrome so bad. Just follow me here. What political party was for slavery?
Oh, the
Democrats.
No. Oh yeah, Democrats was for slavery.
Who was the ones that said we want to get rid of it?
Republicans.
Who are the ones that we follow today?
Democrats.
What did they do to us?
Kept us enslaved.
Why do we love them so much?
Because you love your slave master. Stockholm syndrome.
It's like a battered woman.
Yeah.
You're in love with somebody that beats your tail every day.
The beach, right? And you still say, I love her, or I love him, or whoever, the abuser.
See, I just love that man.
Yeah.
No matter what he do, what he said.
That's that song.
Yeah, it's a blues song.
The
way you do,
I
yeah.
want to be treated, to be needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and you just have to, we have to let go and love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. But not in a selfish way, but in a better way. Like, I'm going to love myself to make sure that I don't deal with abuse. I'm going to love myself to make sure I don't deal with the verbal abuse. I'm going to love myself to make sure that I don't abuse nobody. Exactly. I'm going to love myself to make sure that I don't verbally abuse anyone. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to love yourself in order to make sure that you keep your tongue in check. Because it's not a fighter jet, a rocket ship, nothing on the face of this earth that can move faster than a word spoken off their tongue. Before you get it even do the countdown for a rocket to take off, you already spoke. So you done beat the rocket already. You know what I mean? So you had to watch what roll off your tongue. Your tongue can be it can be a mean weapon.
The builder and destroyer of nations.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. But it also the in the biblical text it said it can't be tamed.
You said what?
It can't be that the tongue can't be tamed.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that if you're supposed to look before you leap and think before you speak. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Individually.
Only a fool. Yeah,
individually.
Only a fool to test the depths of the water with both feet, knowing he can't swim.
What are the biblical scriptures that talk about the tongue?
They can say what they want to say, but I'm talking about it as far as my portion of understanding. But my lessons, you dig, you can teach that tongue. You know what I mean? Because when you get in front of that judge, you ain't gonna say what's really on your mind. And
Let me share a few with you.
Yeah, go ahead, share them.
1 Peter 3 verse 10. For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech.
Okay, that's cool.
Colossians 4 verse 6. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. Ephesians 4 verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Proverbs 10 verse 19. Sin is not ended by multiplying words, but the prudent hold their tongues. Proverbs 15 verse 4. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. Proverbs 15 verse 28. The heart of the righteous weighs its answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes evil. Proverbs 17 verse 9. Whoever would foster love covers over an offense, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends. Matthew 15 verse 11. What goes into someone's mouth does not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth, that is what defiles them. Proverbs 21 verse 23.
Okay, they saying control your tongue.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You can train yourself to control your tongue just by controlling your thoughts, because everything comes from a thought. You know what I mean? So if you telling yourself, you're like, hold up, I'm not finna say nothing negative. Even when it come to cussing, using you might say, now I'm gonna tell you, stop cussing is hard, because we say things a lot of times people don't realize it, but myself included. Your subconscious really controls. A lot of times people be functioning straight off their subconscious. Have you ever done anything, any of y'all, listen, this to you too, George.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done something and said, man, why did I just do that?
All the time.
Okay, that was your subconscious. Your subconscious was the order of the day. It wasn't your conscious mind, because your conscious mind just asked you, why did you just do that? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So you have to make it your business to function in the right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out your way to function right now, because if you don't, your subconscious is being attacked from every angle, and you receiving all these different, just different innuendos and different things. It's just coming at you, be it advertisement or whatever, and you picking it up and you don't even realize it. That's like, say for instance, I could flash something real quick in front of you and take it back, and your mind gonna tell you what it thought it saw, and in your mind that's gonna be what you saw. You know what I'm saying? Even though you probably didn't even see it. You know, so yeah, you know,
so going to it was James 3:8-14. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of poison if you don't watch it. But I think you can tame your tongue, because, like I just said, you ain't gonna go up and get in front of the judge and say nothing stupid. You gonna tame that tongue. You ain't gonna talk to him like you talk to somebody else on the streets.
I have before.
I mean, did you go to jail?
I didn't know.
Well, they might have just said you might. They might have. They might not.
Look. So it was in 2012. Some random person made a phone call and said I had a bomb in my car.
Oh shit, that's a whole lot of shit.
And so they shut down the expressway in North Carolina, so Alamance County, and so it was everybody. It was the express. Think you going to Detroit by the Great Lakes Crossing, and they shut that down for you,
right?
And it's SWAT and everybody. It was on Fox News, and
they got a robot coming up to your car. God,
so the first person put their hands on me was Internal Affairs. So fast forward, I go through that. That person didn't know me. I didn't know them. They just didn't like my face or something. I don't know. Made that call. Said they thought they saw a bomb in my car. It was a week or so around Trayvon Martin getting murdered. But as I was in court, because the Marine Corps, I was still active duty Marine Corps, and I had just came back from Afghanistan.
Also, you're a born suspect.
However, it was in Alamance County, North Carolina, and they were sued by the Hispanic community. I called everybody. I called the FBI. I called the Rainbow Coalition. I called Al Sharpton people, and nobody was trying to. NAACP. It was like the color of law the FBI told me the color of law hadn't been broken. So I didn't know what that was or nothing like that.
Did you find out what it meant?
Well, based on what they were saying, they didn't break any bones or and no skin was ripped or torn to where they would want to get involved. That's how he explained it to me. But no, I never. That was such a dark space in my life at that time that it's like me speaking about it now. I'm gonna have to deal with it after.
Okay, well we're gonna.
But no. But what I'm saying, that's just life. I got to deal with it. That's yesterday. I still got to live today.
That's where I'm going.
Right.
So fast forward, I'm in court, and they just all lying. When I'm in the back of the car, the officers saying, "Yeah, we got all this on tape," because they thinking I'm some Al Qaeda or something. You know, I'm active duty. I don't have no hair on my face. I'm skinny. I'm all it. So. They know my license plate. I registered to Camp Lejeune. So there's no reason for them to think none of this. And they all had it. So we in court and no cameras, no nothing. Everything didn't work. All this other stuff is what they saying. And they trying to get me to say stuff a certain way. I said, I don't care how y'all ask me to say whatever or tell me to say what. I'm not saying nothing except for the truth. Y'all can lie about what nobody looking me in my face or nothing. I'm like, I'm either gonna die or go to jail anyway off of this stuff. And then the only charge you got me for is resisting arrest. They brought the dog an hour away to check my vehicle. The dog didn't hit for nothing. And people getting mad, like, no, do it again, and say ain't nothing wrong with my dog, ain't nothing in this car. So it was a huge thing. And then how knowing that it's just because of the situation, but it was. I'm going through where I'm losing friends. I got people laughing at me to my face like I did something to myself. And even to this day, even like the response, and I don't have nothing against it, like it's like a little humor to it because like, wow, that's great. But I'm saying I'm living this. I'm standing up like when the dude first put his hands on me after I get out the car because I'm got everybody coming to me. I'm holding my hands like, what's this? The first thought that I can remember having was dude in New York that got killed because he had his wallet. I'm like, I'm not moving my hands nowhere. I'm like, what is this? It's like just people, cars, lights.
You was in active duty as
active duty. I was a corporal.
So you was fighting you was signed up to protect the country.
Just came back from Afghanistan.
And you found out you were
within 6 months. Yeah.
At that point, you find out you were public enemy number one.
I thought I was a piece of shit to these people.
You ain't mean Nathan.
Nathan, nothing at all. So it was just a big, huge thing. Then while I'm in cuffs, they tased me while I'm in cuffs. I'm like, what? First person put their hands on me, internal affairs. Then they doing all that extra stuff, putting me in the middle of the thing. I'm like, why is y'all doing? Because what I was gonna go to, a dude put me in a rear neck choke. 10 seconds, you out. You 1, 2, 3. I counted 20. I'm like, man, and I was so like, I got hands. So I'm thinking like, man, he's making me mad because he's got hands on me and I can't do nothing. I'm like, all I gotta do, am I gonna go out like this or what? So I had, it was so many thoughts, and I'm counting down because I'm trying to keep my composure because they got their guns out and everything. They was ready to get me. And the only reason they got to me, because not got to me, but they opened the door and I was like, I'm not letting go of this thing until it's like 3 or 4 different people grab me at the same time. Because if they start shooting, they're going to shoot each other too. And they're going to have to explain that shit. So that's going to happen. Then the Officer Apple or Sheriff Apple.
Sheriff who?
Apple. I'm asking them like, could y'all tell me what's going on? Just let me know what did I do? What's going on? And I said, man, I just want to know what's going on. And then the rear neck choke. And I'm counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, because I'm about to be asleep. And then I get to 1, 10, 9. Like this dude about to mess my neck up. Like, so what do I do? So, you know, all this is instantaneous and stuff. So I calmed down, gave my other arm. Because all I'm asking is what is going on? And these folks looking like they ready to lynch me. Like, just like I just took something from all their houses. It was an interesting situation. So I lived through that, survived that. It's a story. I don't tell it very often because most black men have gone through something similar. So it's not really heavy on people's minds. But this was on Fox News in North Carolina. When I got back to the Marine Corps base, I had generals looking for me in my head, like, where's this head? And we want it on a platter. So the only reason why I didn't get my head served on a platter is because the person I was under he was a master sergeant. He had pretty much deployed everywhere that could be deployed during his time. He asked me what happened. He confirmed different things. He's like, Grundy, you're not lying to me, little short, cocky white dude. Like, are you sure? Because he, you know, and you didn't do anything. No, man, sorry. I was respecting Lott because I didn't know what was going on. And he said, well, as long as you under me, nothing's gonna happen to you. Because you know, he did everything. He got all his bodies all over the world. And so who's gonna do something to him? And especially knowing that I didn't do nothing to create the situation. But the Marine Corps was like, no, we're not gonna help you on nothing. You gotta pay for your own attorney. We're not sending JAG for you. You just hit. So it's just the world just turned on me.
This country that you're fighting for, did you like that?
For whatever reason, the world turned on me. I had people that I knew that had deployed with that are known for the 3-4 years that I was in. Like, did you do it? What the fuck you mean? Did I do it? Am I in? I ain't locked up, am I?
Right. You don't see me in Leavenworth.
Right.
Ain't try.
So what are you talking about?
Leavenworth, huh?
So it was a real dark space, and then that's what made me choose to get out the Marine Corps, because I'm like, I wanted to go to MARSOC, which is Marine Corps Special Forces. My body wasn't holding up to that training. So I was trying to move into counter intel in order to be a part of the operations or the operators. And I could still be a part of that, but not have to do all the training they did. But I still have to train hard. So all that went out the window. And so my thing is, those are certain things that I hold on to, because even though I interact with people like Sheriff Swanson and, the Chief Green and all that stuff, with the stuff I do on the veterans part, sometimes I'm having anxiety attacks when I'm doing that stuff, because I'm like, it's just anxiety. Like, I don't know what to think. Like, just this part, because I tried everything I know to do as my parents and my community told me I'm supposed to do by right. And that shit ain't mean nothing to nothing. Everything that I've tried to do, it creates a financial barrier. It creates life barriers, creates relationship barriers. So all the stuff that I was taught, for me, It's just like what I said when I get happy for something. It's like, what you mean? Yeah, you got a good relationship, man. What you mean? She left with what? Okay, you two new puppies and everything. They pit bull puppies and they top of the line. They died. What are you talking about? It's like all this stuff just happened. So I'm like, news is news, and I get it. It's news is news. Cause
So my question to you would be, seems like yesterday has an impact on you.
it does.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying, but to get back to the point is controlling your tongue. And I'm just saying, most people, with the exception that you said, okay, you said what you said, but I'm talking about you ain't say, man, forget you. That was a euphemism. But I'm saying F you to the judge. You know what I'm saying?
No, I wasn't
I'm just saying,
like that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying a loose tongue. I'm saying people control their tongues. You know what I'm saying? When you say, man, I'm like, this is kangaroo court. You ain't no real, or whatever. Now, a person might think that, but they ain't finna let it roll off their tongue.
I said something to the effect, I don't care what y'all do, how y'all do it. It's like, look.
That was mild manner. It was saying, okay, I don't care what you do, but I'm saying you could have said, I mean, I'm sure if you was upset as you said you were, I'm sure you probably
I said it
way harsher.
I said it like I meant it. I said it like because I said it with passion. Like, no, I wasn't cussing people out or nothing like that. But it was like, man, you ain't about to just lie on me and all this, and I'm just sit here like I'm gonna just accept what you said. No, I don't agree with none of this stuff. None of y'all telling the truth. Period. And I don't care what you do, what kind of time, whatever you put in. I'm not about to agree to nothing that ain't the truth. And it was something to about that energy. And the judge, you won't even look at me in my face. So I wasn't running from nothing.
I understand where you're coming from, but that's an exception to the rule, because I know a lot of people. I didn't see people go up in the place, and I've seen them instead of saying Your Honor, I done heard them say Heavenly Father, straight up. No, I'm serious with my own ears. You know what I mean? I'm like, huh? We in churches, God just show up, but you give this man that much. Okay, but cool.
Well, that preacher do look like the preacher and the judge. They have on the same outfit, so
yeah,
Judgment Day.
Yeah, but okay, well, yeah, that was our subject for the day. Out of the mud media. Thank you for having us. Flint at the Dark, and the other platforms that we're being shared.
Fli-City Blackout.
Fli-City Blackout. Yeah, and we're gonna do this again, with another subject, and I wonder, is anybody taking the time to really process these subjects and, doing some internalizing, right. Because it never hurts to look within. Everybody want to look out, but remember what I said about that mirror? Mm-hmm. Remember I said, if most people can't look in the mirror for long, and
And before you end, so going back to that yesterday of me getting pulled over that day. So when they put me all that stuff and they put me in the middle of the road between my vehicle and theirs, and they straddled me, it was like about six officers. One was over me, and then they tased me. It didn't go the way that they thought. It didn't go how they thought. So I'm handcuffed behind me. I'm on the ground. I'm like, man, y'all still haven't told me what's going on. Can y'all just tell me what's going on? And so some little sorry sheriff tased me. I'm cuffed, got six people on me. Nothing, I'm not fighting them off. I'm just wondering what's going on. He tased me, and that was it. I was like, I done been as respectful as I know to be. I cussed. I ain't never cussed nobody out as bad as I cussed them out, except because it wasn't like, oh, help me. It was no. Which one of y'all just tased me? Which one of y'all tased me? And that's how it, and I wish they had the recordings. I wish it would have went live all over the country, because you wouldn't. I went straight whiz bang, and they scattered. I'm sitting in the middle like, and it's like, well, where I'm telling them, don't talk to me, all this, calling them all kinds of, talking about their mamas, everything. Because I'm like, I'm not doing anything for y'all to do all this aggression. But if I'm about to go out, because it's obviously ain't no logic here, I'm about to be illogical, and I'm about to go out real unlogical. especially when I'm seeing these cameras over here. It's y'all about to explain all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, for me, I got these. That's why I try to stay in my space, because I have these levels, and it's like a light switch, and my light switch, it don't like to cut off when it's on. So, and it doesn't matter what the consequences is to me is after it's over. So
hold on, I ain't laughing at you.
I
ain't laughing. George said his light switch don't like to cut off on his own. I was just trying to cut the show off.
Right.
But I had to just get that part, because I'm saying when it's not, I don't.
Seems like yesterday has an effect on it.
Yesterday is real.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it does. So, as we can clearly see.
for me to be as reasonable to different people in the jobs that they do, I've grown.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, for real. That's a blessing. It's a blessing in every lesson. That's what they say.
He said, "I tried to stop the show."
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's closing. Cut the light off. Cut the light off.
So we're gonna do this again, with episode 16 next week. Oh, by the way, yeah, for those that's paying attention, we're gonna have I'm gonna have a special guest. It's big homie. What's his name?
Big Unc.
Yeah, Big Unc. Yeah, Big Unc from the 70s is gonna be here next week. Check us out. Tune in. It's gonna be very interesting. Big Unc from the 70s is gonna be.
It's going down.
Yeah, yep, it's going down. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have Big Unc here. You know what I mean? So
listeners, get ready. Yeah, get ready.
Big Unc from the 70s. He'll be here.
From the 70s.
Yeah, he called me and told me he coming. He said he been watching my show. He said he ain't did no comments. He said, but he been watching my show, and he said he want me to have him on here. So next week y'all might
wait. Look like we got a caller. Let me see if we can try to get them in here.
We ain't gonna be able to get them.
I don't know. Just call it. It's on the line.
I ain't even say the number because
let's see.
Call from.
I can hear it. Y'all can hear it.
Yeah.
Anquan Clemens.
Anquan.
Wow. Look. Why you look like that? Let's see if we can hear him. See if we can hear him.
Hey.
Hello?
Caller, can you hear us? Can you hear us, caller?
No, we got to get that fixed.
Man, this is...
What's happening?
Hey, can you hear us?
What's going on, family?
Hey, how you doing? You all right, fam?
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
I don't think he hears.
He hears?
Yeah, we hear.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Nope.
Okay, he can't hear us.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you can't hear us. Can you hear us?
Anquan.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I don't think
look like it's on delay.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us, and so we're gonna try to have this fixed by next week. You know what I mean? When Big Unc from the 70s get here, you know what I mean? Tune back in, you know what I mean, and check us out for real.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, because we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Yeah,
we appreciate you calling in, but if you call back in next week, this at the same time.
Much love.
Okay, sure. Much love, for sure. Yeah, so we're gonna get that fixed. We're gonna get that technical phone issue fixed by next week. We're gonna have, like I said again, we're gonna have Big Unc from the 70s. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He'll be here. You know what I mean?
Live in color.
Yep. He come. Yeah, he be here. So when he come, we're gonna chop it up with him and get his take. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, we're gonna see how the difference between the 70s and the 2000s and 20 something. You know what I'm saying? But that's Big Unc from that's Big Unc from the 70s. You dig? And he'll be here, and live and in full effect. You know what I mean?
Live in color.
Yeah. So tune in, please tune in.
Don't miss
it. If you miss it, it's gonna be your fault. It won't have nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? So we signing out with Out of the Mud Media, Flint After Dark, and what was the other?
Fli-City Blackout.
Yeah, Fli-City Blackout. You know what I mean? Right. So we out.
Shout out to Jay Mayfield.
Yeah, shout out to James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. And y'all have a safe week. Enjoy yourself and do something to better yourself. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure gonna try to do something to better me.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna be working on. Anything you gentlemen like to say before we sign off?
It's been a pleasure to be a guest.
Yes, sir.
And to the listeners, it's been a pleasure as well to speak to you folks out there. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to have you, cuz.
All right.
Calvin. Good to have you, brother.
Thank
Grundy,
you.
Appreciate y'all. And see y'all next week. Remember, big Unc from the 70s will be here.